Have you ever heard the story of why we always find Saint Anthony of Padua depicted holding the baby Jesus? What follows will explain. The Friars Minor had no monastery within the walls of Padua, the nearest one, at Arcella, outside the city, being about 3/4 of an hour's walk. It often happened that, owing to the gates being closed early in the evening, it was impossible for Saint Anthony on account of his missionary work, to return home. But he easily found a night's shelter among his friends, who were only too happy to have him for their guest. Tito Borghese, Count of Campo San Pietro, one of the saint's dearest friends, was among the few whom he honored the most with his presence. This noble man had so great a veneration for him, that he carefully noted down all that took place during his visits, even rising up at night to watch his guest through the keyhole. Once, when thus visiting him, he noticed an extraordinary light piercing through the chinks of the saint's rooms. Anxious to discover the cause of this, he drew near, and to his great surprise, saw through the cracks of the door Saint Anthony holding a beautiful child in his arms, whom he was lovingly caressing. His host was first at a loss to understand how this lovely infant had entered the apartment of his guest, but soon discovered, through his majestic bearing and the rapture of Saint Anthony, that the child was no other than our divine Lord, who, under this form, had come to console, encourage and strengthen his faithful servant. The apparition lasted some time, then suddenly disappeared, leaving the room in total darkness. At once the saint rose from his prayers, and on going to his bedroom, knocked against his host in the dark. As if guilty of a crime, he entreated his friend not to betray his secret. During the lifetime of Saint Anthony the Count faithfully kept his word, but after his death, with tears streaming down his face, he gave a minute account of everything that had taken place. The heavenly light, of a bluish color, issuing forth from the divine child, although brighter and more beautiful than the sun, did not dazzle the eye, while at the same time the heart was filled with unutterable joy. He declared that the Holy Child himself had informed the saint, by pointing to the door with his finger, that he was being watched, but that Saint Anthony appeared to pay no attention to this, as if anxious not to deprive his friend of this heavenly consolation. He furthermore added that the Holy Child was standing on the breviary of the saint. This apparition has been so frequently mentioned by old historians that its veracity cannot be doubted. It is for this reason Saint Anthony is usually represented with the Holy Child standing on his breviary. Thank you for supporting my channel. May God bless you and keep you. Saint Anthony of Padua, pray for us.